World is progressing day by day, and the things are moving toward the modern things like EVs, electrical vehicles. So there is a new news from the CEO of BMW, Oliver Zips. He has warned the company to be dependent on the EVs. He said, although electrical vehicles have less pollution and they are good for the renewable energy sources, but combustion engine cars still have market. Many countries like Pakistan, India, there are no any stations for the electric cars for charging. Also, many people cannot afford the electrical vehicles. So the CEO has said that when you look at the technology coming out the EV push, we must be careful because at the same time you increase dependency on very few countries. He also said that the supply of raw material for batteries was largely controlled by China. If someone cannot buy an EV for some reason but needs a car, would you rather propose he continues to drive his old car forever? Surely he will try to buy a new car having combustion engines. So combustion engines have still market. If you are not selling combustion engine cars anymore, someone else will, and people will buy the combustion engine cars because every country do not have enough resources to produce the EVs, and not all the people have enough money to buy the electrical vehicles. Sips is a proponent for clean energy vehicles but has long advocated against all out bans on combustion engine car sales. Regulators have dialed up the pressure for players in the auto industry for curb their carbon emission and environmental impact, prompting the creation of slew ambitious electrification roadmaps. So he also argued that there should be fuel efficient combustion engine cars or like hybrid cars that will focus on both the combustion engines and electrical engines. They will use mixed use of fuels and the electricity. He alluded to obvious gaps in charging infrastructure in some markets as well as the high price of EVs. Mercedes-Benz chief technical officer Marcus Schaeffer shared the same sentiment and recently said EVs are years away from achieving cost parity of ICE vehicles. So people should not left the ICE. Companies should produce ICE with efficient quality and efficient fuel average. Besides that, company also needed to plan for necessary cost adjustments and prepare for energy and raw material prices further to remain high. They can do this by streamlining production and making them more efficient, as well as stepping up recycling efforts to keep costs down. BMW recently committed to using sustainable produced aluminum wheels from 2024, a move that will trim CO2 emissions by 5 lakh tons, and it will be a great opportunity for BMW to decrease the CO2 emissions in the world. So the main conclusion of this video is that people should not be too dependent on the EVs, and companies should also produce combustion engine cars but having efficient fuel average.